Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to episode 2 of my Marsden to Marrakesh trip. This is day 5, so I've made it to Pau in the south of France, and I am heading to Zaragoza in Spain. So starting the day right on the edge of the Pyrenees and attempting to cross them. Now, as you can see, the weather wasn't the best. In fact, it was awful. I had intended, I'd bookmarked a road that went up from Pau. It looked absolutely amazing, loads of switchbacks and everything. But as you can see, the road I meant to go on ended up going up the Tourmalet and then back down, which would have been a fantastic ride. But as you can see, the conditions were pretty grim. There was a lot of low clouds. If I'd have been climbing up the Pyrenees, I'd have been riding through the cloud. You know, with any luck, I'd have ended up above the clouds, but you don't know what the conditions are like there either. So as it was, I ended up missing my turning. But do you know what, like, I was just like, you know what, that's fine. I'm just going to carry on. Wasn't enjoying the conditions. The thought of like climbing a 2,000 metre mountain on a motorbike in bad visibility with a million switchbacks wasn't particularly appealing. So I just carried on and ended up going through this massive tunnel, which honestly must have been like 7 miles long or something. I was in it for about 15-20 minutes, as I remember, and I'm sure I was going like 50 miles an hour. But eventually popped out in Spain, and look at this. Amazing. What a relief. Like, just blue skies, the sun's out, stunning scenery, beautiful roads. It was amazing, and what a contrast to France. Honestly, like, such a relief. But as I came out of the tunnel, I had all of my layers on, my winter layers, I had all of my waterproofs on and everything. So, but you know what, if it wasn't raining, I'll take that, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know what road it took me on. I was just using the Waze app and setting it to no motorways, and then just following it basically, and that's what I did every day. So unfortunately, I had hoped to kind of do a blog and list my route, my exact route with all the road numbers and everything. So if you guys wanted to, you know, you could find the roads. But unfortunately, I've got a new phone. Well, that's not unfortunate, it's great. But for some reason, my Google Maps timeline hasn't transferred over to my new phone, and there is a way of doing it, I think, but as yet I haven't worked it out, so I can't actually go back to November to look at exactly where I was and everything. But as you can see, like, this is stunning. I mean, like, literally just, you know, this wasn't a road I I'd planned to ride on or I'd looked up or anything. This is just where the navigation took me, and I mean, what a fantastic road. And fair enough, you know, we've just come through the Pyrenees, so you would expect to see like plenty of mountains and everything, but I wasn't expecting this, honestly. Like, what a contrast to France. I mean, immediately as soon as you're through the Pyrenees, like, the scenery changes. It's unreal. But absolutely beautiful. As much as France is an absolutely beautiful country, the weather wasn't that great, and it was always my intention to just get through France as quickly as I could, because it was November, and I just wanted to get as far south as I could, as quickly as I could, and you know, and that was worth it, to be fair. Looking at the conditions that I rode through the day before this, it was cold, it was wet, rained pretty much all day. It was pretty grim, but then like you arrive here and it's like, well, I feel like I've earned this, you know. It was amazing. I mean, look at it, absolutely stunning. Yeah. I mean, I've visited Spain a lot, you know. I mean, but it's only ever been cities. We've been to Barcelona, we've been to Valencia, we've been to Seville, we've been to Cadiz, but never actually really travelled across the countryside and got out of the towns and the cities. So, I mean, I was absolutely blown away at how beautiful Spain is. And honestly, like, I didn't come across a bad road. Like, I don't think I saw a pothole. It was unbelievable. Literally every road that I was on was just absolutely stunning. So, yeah. I mean, like, just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Like for riding motorbikes, you'd have to go a long way, I think, to beat Spain. Like I absolutely loved it. I'd love to go back and just explore a bit more. And I honestly think you can just get out to the countryside and follow your front wheel, or anywhere with like hills or mountains. Fair enough, there's a lot of like empty countryside with long straight roads and stuff, but you know, for traversing to the next road you want to ride on, that's absolutely fine, and you know, quickest way of doing it. So yeah, this is one of the long straight roads. You know, not much going on. It's still beautiful, and yeah, just like straight for miles and miles and miles. I remember out on these plains, it was incredibly windy. They had wind farms all over the place. So yeah, like getting blown sideways, overcorrecting and everything. But yeah, made it. So here we are arriving in Zaragoza, which was a really nice town, northern Spain. This is where I stayed on the left here. It's kind of like a hostel, Horus it was called. It was kind of like somewhere between a hostel and a hotel. But really nice, pleasant, clean, nice and central. Left the bike locked up overnight. Wasn't concerned about the bike getting nicked in Europe. I know you hear horror stories and everything, but the only time I was genuinely worried about it was when I stayed in Dover, and then when I came back and stayed in Portsmouth. The rest of the time I was sensible. The bike was locked up. I had like a little chain that I took with me, and I used that to chain my bag on when I was travelling. So I had a cover, I had a chain, I had a disc lock. Oh, I didn't have a disc lock, I had like a little U-lock that I used. Got two of those. One to like do the cable, and then one to put through my front wheel. So it was, you know, it's enough to be a deterrent. But end of the day, it's, as we all know, if someone wants to nick your bike, they're going to nick your bike. All they need is time. So, but like I said, in Europe, wasn't concerned about the bike in any way. It was just more for peace of mind, locking it up and feeling that, you know, if it did get nicked and I hadn't locked it up, I'd be absolutely kicking myself. But there's loads of bikes. Anyone who's been to Europe will know there's loads of bikes all over the place just left on the streets. So, you know, you're just trying to make your bike less appealing to the thieves than the next bike down the road, aren't you? Anyway, yeah, so here we are. This is coming on to the Silent Route now, which was a stunning road. It's called the Silent Route. I thought it was like something sacred or an old, like when they used to like pilgrimage route or something like that. Not actually that. It's just a route that's particularly beautiful, and it's a place to go to and, you know, get away from towns and everything, and a place for reflection, which is why it's called the Silent Route. As you can see, a few bikers here. Amazing road, like absolutely stunning scenery. I will put in the comments, I'll put a title on to say what the route number is and where you can find it. But I mean, if you just Google the Silent Route, it'll come up. It's south of Zaragoza. I kind of did a little detour. Well, the reason I went to Zaragoza was that I knew I wanted to ride this route. I'd seen it mentioned on Facebook or something, and I was like, I've never heard of that. And I looked it up, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, give that a whirl. And I'm really glad I did. It's like look at this. I mean, stunning, absolutely stunning. So yeah. It went on for a long time, but like it was the best probably like 2 or 3 hours riding I'd had in ages. I mean, absolutely stunning. And you know, to do that in the sunshine with blue skies on your own bike on your way to Morocco is like, you know, something that I'll remember forever. I really will. So yeah, fantastic experience. Yeah, and I'm gonna shut up and be silent and probably put some music on. Okay, I'll see you in a bit.
So strange, names and shapes all starts to change, but I see you clearly, like ink on a page. You'll be my pick of the day. Burn the lights and climb real high. Don't be scared, 'cause I'll be there. Let's go together. strange. Names and shapes all starts to change. But I see you clearly, like ink on a page. You'll be my pick of the day. Through the lines and climb real heights. Don't be scared, 'cause I'll be there. Let's go together. Hey, I'll guide and take it to nowhere. Do you wanna go there? Leave this behind. It's just us, headed for nowhere. I need you to go there and leave this behind. It's just us, headed for nowhere. I need you to go there and be where I've been all this time.
Okay, so here we are getting towards the end of the silent route, which was an absolutely fantastic ride, stunning scenery, and a great road. Heading towards Teruel now, which is where I'll be staying this evening. Teruel is a beautiful, like medieval town, loads of old buildings and stunning architecture, really ornate like town square as well. It was lovely. And it's about 1,000 metres up not in the sky, it's not up a mountain or anything, it's just the plane is 1,000 metres up, so I guess that's what happens in a big landmass like Spain. So anyway, yeah, spend the night here, and then tomorrow, which is day 7, going to be heading to Ciudad Real, which I've totally said wrong, it's Ciudad. I think the Spanish pronounce it Ciudad Real, or something like that. I've probably absolutely annihilated that pronunciation there. So yeah, and then from whatever Real, the day after that, which is day 9, going to be heading to Carmona, which is just north of Seville, and a beautiful, beautiful town. So yeah, another 2 days great riding coming up. Make sure you subscribe.